Hi folks, Puffin here with a video about Jerry Garcia appearing in dreams. And there's Jerry appearing in concert in a photograph. But this video will be about Jerry appearing in dreams and dream magic in general. Life is very magical. We live a very magical life, but we don't realize it. We shut out a lot of the magic in life. Yet in our dreams, a lot of that magic can take place, and we, chalk it up to dreams. It's all the same world. We're in the same magical world, the dream world and this world. And the afterlife are interwoven in a way that we don't understand that makes it magical. And that's part of why we don't understand it, is part of shutting out the magical nature of stuff makes it hard to understand all the rest of things when we trap ourselves in one particular understanding. So I wanted to share this video about Jerry Garcia appearing in dreams to open up some of the understanding of things for people. And it has to do with dream magic because I believe this happened for me. The magical process for me was a few years ago, I wrote down a dream about Jerry Garcia. A few days ago, I made a video of reading that dream to my YouTube channel. And I was doing all this because I was looking through a notebook of poems, a notebook for reading some poems for my YouTube channel. Check out the hashtag Puffin Poems for those. But I also came across this dream of seeing Jerry Garcia, or at least a dream where he was present in some way. And the focus was on him. And I also came across a note in that notebook about dreams and about how dreams have milestones, kind of like we think of checkpoints in video games. Dreams have a magical ability to produce these checkpoints that if we reach that checkpoint again, or if we activate the checkpoint, we start again there in a certain magical journey or process. And I thought it was magical confirmation of that pretty much the same day or the next day after recording that video, I saw on Google, which, Google used to always suggest to me stories about Star Wars. Now it always suggests to me stories about the Grateful Dead. But I saw on Google a story of Bob Weir had a dream of Jerry Garcia, or has dreams of Jerry Garcia, and was describing one of them for this article that was in, I think, the LA Times. It was in a newspaper just a few days ago. 3 or 4 days ago. Around the same time I'm making the video about my dream of Jerry Garcia and the video about dream magic, creating these checkpoints or creating these types of nodes for interaction. Bob Weir had a dream, or is recorded in an article, recounting his dream of seeing Jerry Garcia. I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit about that now, although hopefully you can find that article where he says that Jerry Garcia came to him in a dream with a song. The song was presented as a sheepdog, a glowing sheepdog, or a sheepdog that he could see somewhat through, that he became friends with. And he doesn't know the song yet. He expects to, discover the song in the future. But that this was the introduction of how this partnership will work between the dream world or beyond death and with people who are alive. Now, this reminds you of a lot of Grateful Dead lyrics. I don't know if I have time to go into those. Sometimes we ride on your horses, sometimes we walk alone, sometimes the songs that we hear are just songs of our own, and sometimes they're not, sometimes they're somebody else's songs. Anyway, that all goes together. But this magic is bringing it together. The magic is understanding these things that have been kept apart or seen as separate or disbelieved in entirely, and being able to believe them, having them come together. Now, I just wanted to share my dreams of Jerry Garcia, which won't take long. I've had 2 dreams of Jerry Garcia that I remember. One was the one that I already mentioned in my other video, the Domo Jerry, Moto Jerry, Chrono Jerry. I don't know exactly what it was called, but it was some type of hyper-dimensional Jerry Garcia. Being advertised to perform a show, not a hologram Jerry Garcia, like hollow Jerry Garcia, but something else with the O thing that meant something else about transcending time, which I think is something about this. Now, that was a dream that I had 2 or 3 years ago. So 2019, 2018, 2019, 2020, maybe. But many years ago, I think months, maybe a year after Jerry Garcia passed, so 1995 or 1996, I had a dream of Jerry Garcia where I was hiking on the Appalachian Trail in real life. And I went to sleep that night and had a dream of meeting Jerry Garcia on the trail. And he had an acoustic guitar and played some songs for us. And that was pretty cool. I was with my friend who was a Deadhead Joe at the time, and I was with some other friends at an actual concert, and we all saw a snowy owl. This was at Lakewood Amphitheater. I don't know what corporation had bought it since then, but it was Lakewood Amphitheater in Atlanta. And a snowy owl kept swooping down after the concert that we were admiring, because it would swoop down into the lights and just light up super bright. And we all had the impression it was the spirit of Jerry Garcia. Now, that was real life. That was in a dreamlike state in real life, a psychedelic state in real life. But maybe a few years before that is when I had that dream of seeing Jerry in a black t-shirt, I think, sitting on the, I can't remember his clothes for sure, but sitting on the side of the Appalachian Trail, and he played a couple songs for us. So that was a clear indication. I'd seen my grandfather after he passed away in a dream and touched him on the shoulder. And at the same time, he sent my brother an email in real life. So I'd had some confirmation of this dream, death, life, communication in various ways before. Me and that same grandfather had seen a ghost, and her sister, also a ghost, in a house that I grew up in. But back to dream magic. It reminds me that when people move, like we have the analogy when you move in real life, you leave your memories, or there's something of you. You have the memories of the place that you're in, and it maybe has memories of you. And you go to a new place, and you're still there with those memories and in connection. And that's the same in dreams or in death, I imagine, as well. Especially when you make a lot of connections in life, as someone like Jerry Garcia did. It reminds me, it's very interesting that a recent interview that I saw, thanks to YouTube, and who are whatever wonderful people on YouTube sharing this information, thank you so much. A recent interview with Jerry Garcia mentioned, he says something like, I want to take everything with me and leave nothing behind when I go. I didn't really understand it. It was interesting him asking him about his legacy. I didn't understand exactly what he meant. But he had some statement about not wanting to leave anything behind, or leaving place for other people to do things because he won't be there. Let somebody else be that legend or myth or something, that it was a myth anyway. I don't know. I can't explain it. The interview is the end of an interview that I saw recently. I think the interview's from 85, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, point being that I thought that was interesting that he said that at the time, whatever he meant, and maybe I'm not understanding it, that he wanted to not be attached to the things he'd done in life in a way. And not that he's attached to the things he's done in life. He seems like he's presenting new songs to Bob Weir in these dreams. But that you don't leave. You don't really ever leave. That you're still part of it. And could be a lesson to people who, do bad things in life, that, you don't get to escape with a clean record. You're still associated with all that's going on here, even after you pass on. But for people who do good things in life, to know that you'll be remembered and welcomed back and continue to live on in various ways, especially if you've lived such a rich life, you live on in many different ways. And I guess the real point there is to be as alive as you can while you're alive, which is something else that Jerry said, I think, in that interview, or another interview I saw recently. He says, I want to have lived a lot. So I encourage you to do that in the ways you can. And seemingly the best way to do that is music and art. The best way the thing that allows you to live the most is the thing that this world likes to tell you can't do. You can't make a living that way. You can't live that way. What if that's the only real living? What if that's the only real living to do is art, music, you know, creation of some type, words, writing, conversation, some type of thing that can make a connection with other people, you know, which you do in any other type of work too. I'm not trying to put down any work that people do. I personally want to do more writing and creative work, so I'm always encouraging you to do more, to encourage myself to do more as well. And I think that's a good reason for it. And the thing that, the bad guys are against, the bad guys are for trying to keep everybody doing what they don't want to do, because somebody's got to do it or whatever. When if we're all doing what we want to do, there won't be bad jobs. We'll all be doing good things. We'll all be doing useful, productive things. And many of us will be doing far more productive, useful things that will continue to produce again, even after we're gone. Now, to speak something about dream magic, just to know that it's there, to know that it's magical, to know that going to sleep, to getting a good night's sleep, or being well rested, or being able to get into some good deep sleep is a beautiful opportunity, not just for healing your body and rejuvenating yourself, but for your spirit and your soul, your mind. When you dream, that's an opportunity, that if you take it seriously as an opportunity, it's not like you're trying to get you to work while you're asleep, but appreciate it. If you appreciate the opportunity, you don't have to take it too seriously, because dreams are silly too. Like, there's a reason for that. But try to write them down if you can. Try to record something about them. Try to care about your dreams, and you'll find magic there that reminds you of magic in the world as well. You can find that magic in the world, especially with other people, or with artistic endeavors. So I just want to encourage you in that, and feel like I was encouraged by having just recorded and repeated something that I'd written years ago, and made it actually available for people to connect to people. I feel like was magically reciprocated in the world, giving me this message from Bob Weir, recording that Jerry Garcia has come to him in dreams, and finding that dream that I'd forgotten about and sharing it with the world. So do something magical, creative yourself, and share it with the world is, I guess, the other step. Share it, record it in some way, find some way to memorialize it for yourself and other people to enjoy it in the future. I love you forever. Thanks for watching. And thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Bob Weir. And thank you, everybody, for contributing to making all this possible, because it's all of us together, and we are all together forever. So thanks. See you soon.